The next big set in Pokemon Pocket A4 just got leaked over on Twitter, and we're going to be breaking down all of the cards that got shown in today's video. Unfortunately, we only have the Italian version of the trailer leak, so we're going to have to be doing a lot of translations over here on our end, and it's also very blurry, so I apologize for that in advance. We're going to do the best we can to try and get as much information from this leaked trailer as possible. If y'all enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if y'all would subscribe to the channel because it helps me out a lot, and I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate your support. Now, let's jump right into these new cards. So first off, these packs are going to be centered around Johto. My predictions were correct. They are going to be going to Gen 2 next, and the packs are going to be themed for Ho-Oh and Lugia. The first card that we have in this trailer is Ho-Oh EX, who is 150 HP. It has a 3 energy colorless attack called Phoenix Turbo. It's going to do 80 damage, but it's going to attach 1 fire energy, 1 water energy, and 1 electric energy to any of your basic Pokemon on the bench however you would like. You might be wondering why this assortment of energy, but it's going to make sense when we jump over to Lugia EX, who is going to be a basic colorless EX card with 150 HP. It's going to have an attack called Elemental Fury that's going to be 1 fire, water, and electric energy, and it's going to do 180 damage, and then the drawback is you're going to remove 1 fire, 1 water, and 1 electric energy from the Pokemon after attacking. From looking at both of these cards, it seems like Ho-Oh and Lugia are supposed to be used in conjunction together. This is giving me the feeling that with this update, they're going to try to support more dual energy decks because we already have an attack that's using 3 different types of energy, which we've never seen before in Pokemon TCG Pocket. So I'm really glad that they're doing this. And I'm not gonna lie, me personally, as much as Ho-Oh EX and Lugia EX sounds like a cool duo, there's one other card that I'm thinking could really strive from this, and that's actually going to be Dragonite, because I'm thinking off rip, imagine if you're able to set up a Dragonite, because it only needs the electric and the water energy. The fire energy is just bonus for there. It can be a colorless energy for that extra attack. So you could use this card with Dragonite EX or just the Draco Meteor Dragonite from Genetic Apex. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what else you can pair this Ho-Oh with besides the Lugia. Up next, we have the starters. I'm not going to bother to try and translate them because it looks like they're all just basic 60 HP cards with a 1 energy attack, and I think they're all 20 damage. Again, this is way too blurry for me to actually be able to tell, but either way, there's no secondary effects to these attacks, so it's not like Popplio where it got Sing or something like that. These are all just 1 energy attacks that are going to do probably 20 or 30 damage based on the card. Up next, we do have some baby Pokemon. This is one of the things I was worried about for Gen 2 is I didn't know how they were going to handle baby Pokemon. So here in this trailer, we have a picture of Pichu and Cleffa. Cleffa is going to have an attack called Sparkling Call. Now, some of this is a little too blurry for me to be able to translate, but it looks like its attack is either going to call a random Pokemon or a random Clefairy from the deck into your hand. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I would assume it's probably going to be calling its next stage evolution, but there's a chance it's also just saying it's going to call a random Pokemon. Again, this is too blurry for me to be able to tell, so we'll have to wait until the English trailer to drop for us to be able to tell. Unfortunately, we only had a close-up on Cleffa's attack, so there's no way I'm going to be able to read Pichu's, but I'm assuming it's going to be kind of the same thing because it is a 1 colorless energy attack, so it's probably going to either call a Pikachu or a random Pokemon into your hand. We also got a new Gyarados card. They're showing off the shiny one here, the red Gyarados, so I think it's pretty cool because it's kind of a drawback to the OG Johto games where you were able to find that red Gyarados in the Lake of Rage. It's going to have a 2 water energy attack that does 20 damage, possibly more. There's a second effect. Again, this card is way too blurry to be able to tell what it actually does, but it is going to do more than 20 damage. We know that for a fact. When we put this attack in a translation, it comes down to Furious Attack. I don't think it's actually going to be called that. This attack is probably something like Raging Fury, if I had to assume, but we'll have to see when the English card comes out. We also have an Umbreon EX and an Espeon EX, which is another thing that I actually predicted in my last video, so I'm really glad that they ended up doing EX versions for these cards. They're both going to have some pretty cool abilities as well as just regular attacks that are going to be 2 energy, 2 dark energy for Umbreon, and 2 psychic energy for Espeon. Umbreon's ability is basically a built-in Cyrus. As long as Umbreon is in the active slot once during your turn, you're going to be able to bring a Pokemon with damage from the bench into the active spot on your opponent's side. Espeon's ability, we did not get a close-up zoom on, so it's really hard to tell. But according to one person that I saw on Twitter, they were able to at least gather from it that it's going to be some kind of healing ability. It looked like it was going to be healing either 20, 30, or 50 health. Now the thing is, we can't tell if this is going to be healing to Espeon or healing to one of your Pokemon on the bench or something like that. It's really hard to tell. Again, this card is just way too blurry for us to tell at the moment, but we know that Espeon's ability is going to deal with healing, whereas Umbreon's ability is going to deal with bringing a Pokemon from the bench into the active spot on your opponent's side. We also have these new supporter cards as well as the new Pokemon tool and a new item card. I don't know about the tool or the item card. I don't know what these are going to be. As far as the supporters, the one on the right side, I'm pretty sure that's going to be silver. I may or may not be wrong, but I'm just looking at the red hair and I'm thinking that's got to be silver. As for the girl on the left, I'm not really sure who that is. If you guys do know, then let me know down in the comments who that is, because I'm very curious as to what supporter card they showed off in the trailer here. That's going to be all of the cards that were shown in this trailer. Let me know down in the comments which ones you're the most excited for. And when the English version does drop, I'm probably just going to make a TikTok about it. So keep your eyes peeled over there if you do want to see that. I'm also curious as to what Johto Pokemon you guys are looking the most forward to. Me personally, I think I'm looking forward to Scizor and Steelix the most. I think they're going to be very exciting and I hope they get EX versions, but if not, I'm sure their cards are still going to be very cool. That's going to be all for me though, so thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.